What's up, guys? Back here with the last part of my top 30 metal albums of all time. Uh, I originally recorded this already, but I watched it and it was terrible. It was just, I was tired. I was bored of filming. So yeah, I'm just redoing it now. And yeah, we're listening to Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden in the background. Great record, you guys all know it. So I'm just going to cut right into it. This here is the most sentimental 10 albums, I'd say. And like I said before, my factual favorite, like just based on music solely, is probably a little different than this. But this is, in totality, the sentimental value that each album has. So, yeah, let's get into it. Number 10, Relentless by Pentagram. You guys all know Pentagram, I'm sure. I don't talk about them a ton on my channel just because, who doesn't know who Pentagram is? But they're a great band. I know all of this record. I know a lot of their records really well. I listened to it a lot when I was younger. When I skated, I skateboarded like all the time. Like that's all I did. I listened to doom metal and I skateboarded. That's like all I did when I was 13. No, probably even earlier than that. Like 12 years old to probably 15. It's all I ever did. And yeah, Pentagram was a regular in there, and this just reminds me of that time in my life. So, Relentless by Pentagram. Next. I wasn't sure which Burzum record to put in here, but I went with this one because I knew they'd be on here. Or he. Philosophum. You guys have all heard about this one. Come on. What can I say that hasn't been said a million times? The first time I heard this, I was probably 13, maybe 14 years old, and I downloaded this album and A Blaze in the Northern Sky a couple weeks before we had a really gnarly snowstorm. And I was outside shoveling, and I listened to those two records. This one first, and I was just like, wow, I get it, I guess. It clicked right there, and it was great, because we got like 13 inches of snow overnight. If you're from the Midwest, you probably remember that storm. It was, well, now it's years ago, holy shit. Anyway, Philosophum at number 9. Number 8, oh man, Fast Loud Death by Lost Society. This album is a time portal back to me being 15 and 16. I love this one. I know all the words. That's just implied pretty much, I'm sure. But I studied this fucking thing. Note for fucking note. And this is pretty much what I wanted my band to sound like at the time. Me and my buddies obsessed over this group. And, it was really motivational for me to keep playing music as a young dude, because the guys in this band are a couple years older than me. I think Sammy Alban is like 3 years older than I am. He's the lead singer and guitar player. Amazing record. Fast Loud Death by Lost Society is at number 8. Number 7, Deliverance by Opeth. Me and my buddy have a running joke about Opeth because he got me into them. It's a joke, I guess. It's he got me into Opeth and I got him into Uriah Heep, and we call it even. We don't know each other or anything ever. It's kind of goofy, but whatever. I just love this album. I got into this when I was really getting into death metal and shit, and I'd never heard something like this before. Clean vocals and harsh vocals on the same recording. Besides, shit like, I don't know, poppy crap. I couldn't even name one, like Five Finger Death Punch, maybe. I don't know, I heard that shit when I was young, because people were listening to metal and they thought that was sufficient as metal. So, number 7, Opeth. Number 6, Live in Leipzig by Mayhem. This album is crucial for me being into black metal. When I got this, I didn't leave my truck for a couple weeks probably. I just loved it. I loved the intros of Dead just screaming into the microphone. I just thought that was the coolest thing at the time. And you know, it's just something that I'm very fond of for obvious reasons. You guys all know this stuff. Man, Live in Leipzig at number 6. Top 5. Now these here are very meaningful albums and by no means underground at all. But number 5 is Ride the Lightning by Metallica. You guys have all heard this. I have nothing to explain. This reminds me of my entire life pretty much. This is stuff my brothers listened to when I was a toddler. In my brother's Corvette, driving down the road, listening to Metallica, Slayer, or Motorhead, or Iron Maiden, or whatever. And just Metallica. Come on. How do you argue with it? Ride the Lightning as number 5. Number 4. I actually switched this one and the next one around since the last video because I realized that I liked the other album that was at number 4 before just a hair more. But this is the new number 4. All the Mountain King by Sabotage. I am a huge fan, huge fan of this record. I love every second of it. It's super catchy. I had the cassette for years. Actually, it's right here. There you go. There you go. The tape. By the way, if you guys want me to show some tapes, let me know. I have a whole rack of them right here. But yeah, Hall of the Mountain King. It's just this masterpiece of power metal and speed metal and just good ass heavy metal, all put into a blender and just riffarama, catchy vocals. It's great. I fucking love this shit. So number 4, Sabotage, Hall of the Mountain King. Number 3, Nightfall by Candlemass. I can't speak about this one. I got into it with Bewitched, like probably everybody else, but I stayed for Gallows Pole and I stayed for the Mourner's Lament and Samarathon. I don't know. But come on, you guys have all heard this record. Textbook epic doom metal. Nothing not to love here. It's just I've listened to it so many times and I have so many memories associated with this record. It's great. And everybody I've showed the music video for Bewitched to, they just fell in love with it. They love it. They think it's so great, the Messiah March thing. Nightfall. Number 2, King Diamond's album, Them. Oh, come on. I am a huge fan of King Diamond. You guys all know that. This album almost made its way to be right here. Sorry, I had somebody call me, but this album, you know, almost made it right here as a half-sleeve tattoo, as I was saying before I got cut off. But I just never did it. You know, tattoos are expensive and kind of unnecessary, for me at least, because I don't need it. It's money I could spend on records. But they're cool looking. Obviously, I entertained the idea. But yeah, King Diamond's Them. Next. And number 1, Black Sabbath's Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, the most important album in my metal journey, I believe. What can I say about this that hasn't been said a million times? It's progressive, it's brilliant, it's intelligent, it's catchy. I know every word to every song of the whole Ozzy era, and it's just, it's my favorite for a good reason. So, that's number 1. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little series that I did. It was fun to make, even though it was kind of a pain in the balls, but I'm glad I did it. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, keep it greasy.